Hello and welcome to our bare bones tutorial series where we aim to answer those basic archaeology questions you may be too embarrassed to ask, such as, how can I tell where to dig? Well, to answer that, let's start at the beginning. And I do mean the beginning, right back to how the ground is formed. The Earth is constantly evolving and changing. Land masses move, volcanoes erupt and die, seas teeming with life become deserts, and so on and so forth. All of this constant state of flux leaves a record and forms the basis of the land that we walk on, the natural as we will refer to it from now on. As humans, if we want to build a structure, we will have to create a foundation and will inevitably need to dig into the natural. Making a roundhouse? You're going to need to stick a post hole down and a nice ring ditch to support that roof. Want a road? Better clear a track to put it down. Want a cesspit? Well, you get the idea. Much like the Earth, human society is also in a constant state of flux. People move, spreading new ideas across land masses. Civilizations rise, replacing those before them, before they themselves are inevitably replaced. Settlements which were once full of life are abandoned, and the structures that were built are left to rot in ruin. Some of these structures stand the test of time, but most are not so fortunate, instead leaving nothing but the hollows where they once stood. Time passes and the Earth is still changing. Rocks and organic matter are broken down to become soil, which fills the divots left from bygone structures. These create patches in the natural, and it's these that we look for when we go to excavate. When looking for features, it can be tempting to look for dark patches and ignore other discoloration. Don't be tricked though. Whilst it's true that most fills tend to be darker, as they are more recent and are more likely to have inclusions such as charcoal, they can still be lighter. There are so many ways fills are formed, and they're not all going to follow a simple formula and will vary in coloration. So look for shapes, not dark patches of colour. Another thing to bear in mind is that the edges of structures can be blurred or masked over time. Maybe a more modern structure, such as a land drain, will be built which cuts straight through a feature, potentially affecting the soil around it by churning up the soil. Or maybe it's as simple as the edges being blurred naturally over time. This is just something to bear in mind when you go to dig, as you will likely have to chase the true edge of a feature. Still more time passes. More soil is made. The soil separates into topsoil and subsoil, which eventually leads us up to present day, where we strip back those two layers to the level where the filled-in divots are seen, and where you are stood there thinking, what am I looking at? This has been a very brief overview of a very complex and varied topic. Hopefully you find this helpful. One more final bit of advice. Don't panic. Your ability to identify features will improve over time, and no one is expecting you to be flawless. If you are ever in any doubt as to what you're looking at, ask a supervisor, a teacher, or even a more experienced colleague on site. If they are any good at their job, they should be more than happy to help you. And on that note, we'd like to ask you some questions. Do you have any tips on how to know where to dig? What topic would you like to cover next? Let us know in the comments below and on our Instagram at Past Present Archaeology. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time.